Have some special guests tonight that we all would like to recognize. Riley Fisher. Where's Riley? Oh, hey. So Riley's a student in Nevada Union. Should you come up here and take a seat? I know, I had to do it too. Super awkward. So, as you're walking up here, all of us and your instructor, Mr. Woodard, where is he? Hi, how you doing? Would like to recognize you for your willingness to excel in your auto shop course at Nevada Union. So for those of you that don't know, I also don't know this, so I'm learning with you. You're apparently in the process of restoring a 1986 Chevy pickup. While the truck, I like Chevy pickups. I'm not. Funny story. So, sidebar here. So my very first event as a Honda driver in IndyCar, I go to Phoenix to watch a test. And we do one of those Facebook Live interviews. And somebody types a question like, hey, what kind of car do you drive? Chevy pickup. Not realizing that A, I'm a Honda driver, and B, the only competition they have in IndyCar is Chevy. The team PR girl next to me was not impressed. So anyways, so this truck is not known for its collectability, but it is known for something far more valuable. This vehicle was purchased new by your grandfather, who passed away in '96, right before you were born. Through the process of repairs and upgrade modifications, Riley has learned about his grandfather in ways that he wouldn't have known. So you'll be interning in an auto shop this fall, and everyone, let's give him a hand. And this is Ballin, Washington, and he's in the automotive engineering design program. Good to see you again. And also his instructor, James Long, who's an expert in the Indianapolis 500, which I'd like to know about. And apparently you're supposed to talk now, so.
So let's see, 2011 I decided it was time for me to give back some of my skills, and I was super inspired by the whole thought of driving out to Indy. And so we made some connections. I've been going to Historics in Monterey for years and years. Had a great Rolodex of people. I met Carol Shelby. I met all these great people. And I had Mario Andretti's business card. And I thought, well, I'll just call him up and we'll meet with him. Right. No, right. He met with us. He met with the 13 kids. We bought and sold a 65 Plymouth. That money, the kids helped fix the car up. We sold it, and that money helped us take the trip out. We took the Automotive Academy from Marysville. I took Ken Hamill and 12 of his students and my daughter and her friend. So there's a car there. It's the Wonder Bread Special, and it's a Duesenberg from 1933. So we ended up putting my daughter and her friend in the car, and they were smiling from ear to ear. It was an awesome experience. I'm like, well, if it'll do that, why don't we build our own? So over about a 3-year period, we built the car you see out front. We started out with 2 frame rails. I took it to the soapbox derby, and people were tripping over the stuff in the walkway. They're like, what's this junk doing here? And I said, well, that's a car we're going to build. And they kind of laughed and thought, that's not really that important. But in my shop next to Whitney Springs, Mitch was one of my first students. Mitch was there morning, noon, and night. This afternoon, he was there early, helped me load the car in suit and tie, and has been there the whole time. Mitch's opportunity that he's in front of is he's doing the Formula SAE, and he's the suspension designer for their program at Western. So I've got a couple of other students. Brandon Clanton is here tonight. Brandon has been doing an exceptional job. Actually, Brandon showed Mitch how to put doors on a 53 Chevy truck. And we will continue to make trips to Indy by road, retracing the steps. We hope to incorporate Harry Miller's work and Fred Offenhauser. The engine we have for this car is now a Ford. It will be an Offie. We'll build that for it. We also have a 74 Gurney Eagle that was driven by Wally Dellenbach that we will restore in our shop as well. We're the only shop class in the country that does this. And it's all about the California drivers and builders going to Indy, doing well, and coming back. And the guy who drove the car out front was also a Californian. So that's it. And we do want you to sign your car tonight.
Okay. So I'm just going to add one thing to kind of what he was saying there. That is exactly what motorsports A needs and B is missing right now. And racing in general is going through a bit of a change, and it's something that kind of affects everything that we do, and teams do, and companies do, and manufacturers do, and everything, with seemingly all car manufacturers wanting to go towards a more green type engine and platform. The relevancy of motorsports is often sometimes questioned, which is why we see the hybrids in Formula One, which is why IndyCar is moving in that progression for the new engine regulations in 2019. It's why we have always been on ethanol, and there's always been that kind of underlying understanding. But the bigger thing than that is we're missing the car culture, because a lot of kids now, when they turn 16, they just aren't that super interested in getting their driving license, and that's what affects kind of the fan base. So thank you to you two for your passion for cars, for racing, for the history of it all, because that's what's going to keep our sport alive. So appreciate it.
All right, so Alex, we get to talk a little bit now. When you were here last year, we were celebrating your victory at Indianapolis, and then we were moving into Sonoma for your last race. And so we were thinking about, getting to talk to you tonight. I just want to say this, that I want to speak on behalf of everyone here, that we just want to say we're so proud of you, and the way that you've handled this year, and the growth we've seen, and going through some of the disappointments of a car, and knowing that you thought you have it. And so we're just proud of you for the character that you have, that you continue to show, and the calm spirit, digging at your dad's humor. So that's awesome. So you guys just want to thank Alexander for me. Just give him a great applause.
Well, first of all, thank you all for coming. Some people came last year and some didn't, so I appreciate those that came back. In terms of the difference between this year and last year, we still have fueling problems. So we're keeping that pretty consistent. But I think the biggest thing is we, as a whole team, as a 4-car team, and all the 180 employees that go along with that, everyone's taken a huge step forward, not only in terms of their own kind of levels of performance, but also kind of the morale within the team, and what we're doing on track to prepare. And we have seen the kind of fruits of that kind of right from day one of 2017. We went to the first test where we tested in Florida. Hopefully that track still exists. And we were immediately a second faster. And it was like, okay, this is good. Like we came with a new mindset. We hired 2 new people. One of them was a new engineer for me, new technical director, and a huge amount of work and money was put into the offseason immediately. There was good things, but there was no results. Like there was awesome performance, like from the car, where we had nothing to show for it. Up through the first 3 or 4 races, we were like 17 points. It was just constant, one thing after another. And then we got to the month of May. I had quite a few laps for the first 100 laps, and I think we were in contention to win again. And then we had fuel issue, which I don't know why, but we do. We have fuel problems. So we're going to get to the bottom of that this season. But that was really a kind of a confidence booster for us, because we showed on the biggest stage again. We were capable of being a leading car, a front-running car, and that it was just a matter of time. And really, the big momentum shift came for us in Toronto. We got a podium, so we got the second place, and that's something we were really looking for, because it was the first time we had a result like that since May of 2016. And from that point forward, whether it's a conscious thing that happens or a subconscious thing, I don't really know, but everything just becomes easier after that, and everything's more fluid, and everything just seems to kind of come together a little bit more. And through the past 6 races, things have progressed greatly, and obviously 2 weeks ago walking was super positive, but it's just a huge testament to the team that we've been able to come from a really bad year in 2016. You know, we talk and show videos of one weekend, but the other 16. I mean, you didn't want to be around me for a lot of that. So it was very challenging. So the fact that they were able to make such a big turnaround, and I was able to be a part of that and witness that was something pretty special.
So think about that weekend that you won the 500 and the 100, and so it was a huge deal. And we saw your picture in the video and what you were feeling and experiencing, and you didn't know what you were feeling actually. And so you went the whole year then after that, and now you come back to the 500 this year. So can you just kind of walk us through some of the things you felt as you went in, and then after it's over now, you have another winner, and what do you feel now as you look back at being the 100?
So I finally, this year I got it. I rolled back into the track for PR day during the month of May. It was still like a week before I was going to be getting in the car. And I just pulled into the venue, and I was like instantly excited to drive a race car. And you have that in passing, but sometimes when you're in the middle of Ohio, right, and you show up to a racetrack, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to drive tomorrow, but there's not a huge emotional connection. There's not something you feel from that kind of space. And that happened. And this is why the Indianapolis 500 is what it is. It's something where so many people have been a part of it, whether from a spectator or a driver or a team personnel standpoint, sponsor, whatever, that there's only such a handful of people that are able to say that they take part in it and be one. And so that desire to do that again is like more motivation than anything else. And you don't get that in other races. Like we use the example of Ohio. If you win Ohio, you're like, cool, we did that. I mean, it'd be great to win again, but it's not really the same type of feeling. So I think going back again next year, considering we didn't win this year, the desire is going to be even ramped up more. And it was funny because in 2016, the Saturday night, I slept like a baby. Like I wasn't stressed. It was another day. It was another race for me. It wasn't that big of a deal. This year, I didn't sleep Saturday. So it's like Christmas for us in May, for sure.
That's awesome. So your concept of team and your belief in team, that you just keep talking about team in a very, and I'll just say authentic and what I sense is humble way. You talk about them and you want to draw attention to them and the team effort. You also recently wrote a very inspiring, you guys think, what they just talked about here with father and son, but if you want to go out to, I believe it's on your website, anyway, somebody can help me with this. It's about your dad, about family, but it wasn't just about your dad. What I loved about this is that you took it to the team, and you took it to the team, the family that you are together. And I just think that as we come here now, and your dad emailed me as we were talking about tonight, and he's just reminded me, Ron, it just takes a village, and that's who he knew would be here tonight. And so I just want to give you a chance, just right now, if you just want to say any word of thanks and gratitude to the people who are here, your family.
Yeah, no, of course. It's impossible to put into words the whole journey, because it is something that you eat, breathe, and sleep, right or wrong. That's just the way that sport works, and it's something that each moment kind of influences you for the next kind of moment and what's going to happen. And there's a lot of people that look at that from the outside and think, well, that's insane. Like, why would you do something that is so far out of your control? No matter what job that you're doing, there's always going to be something preventing you potentially from carrying on. And for every one of those people, there's people like that are in this room that are like, well, this is what you feel that you believe you're good at and you can do, and so why wouldn't you do it? Like, there's not even a question as to why you wouldn't. And that little bits of kind of encouragement at random times, coming back for Christmas, going to church, going to coffee shop, whatever, and just seeing people and knowing that they're watching and paying attention, it gives you the kind of understanding that what you're doing is right. And there's a lot of times where I think we all question in the family, like, is this really, it's taking a lot of time, it's taking a lot of effort, and this is putting a lot of strain on a lot of different parts of our lives. Is this something we want to be doing? And the answer is always yes. And there's certain moments that you look back on that kind of define that journey. And I think that, you know, getting to the point where I was able to make my F1 debut in 2015 was one of those moments. Having that opportunity and door closed in February 2016 was another one of those moments. At that point, I thought that was completely the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And my racing career was over, and I was just going back to home and going to do God sports. For those of you that may have seen video clips, it's not good. So it's like, well, what do I do now? So, and that led to the next moment, which was we got a phone call from Andretti when we went racing in America, which allowed me to then not only build a career back in the States, but also build a brand where I could show people and kind of explain to people what my vision of myself in the future is, what I wanted to do. So it's the exact opposite of Watkins. So Watkins is the grippiest track we'll go to, and Sonoma is not. It's very dusty. We're still in the drought, guys. I'll tell you what. And it's one lap. So qualifying, the tires don't even make it to like turn 11 or 12. There's 11 or 12 corners. And so you kind of have to pick and choose like what part of the track you're going to maximize, which is very different from Watkins, where Watkins is just every lap through our track to go faster. It's as much commitment as you can muster up. That's going to be the ultimate lap time. Whereas Sonoma, it's a much more finesse type track, and tire wear and tire usage comes into play a lot more than any other track we'll go to, which makes it very interesting because you'll see a lot of discrepancy in performance throughout the weekend. And with it being a double points race, it makes it all that more interesting.
I saw that double points category that was looking through all the possibilities of how what they were saying, how racers
Not good for me.
Not good. So, but there was a possibility. Okay, so we'll be hoping for that.
Yeah.
And we hope for a good showing. Hope you have a great time. And thanks so much again for representing Nevada County. It's awesome what you do. We really appreciate you.
Thank you guys.